Greetings, dear friends. How do we begin to prepare to address illusion? And as a group, begin to use the technique of the presence. Master DK provides us with a few definitions of illusion in Glamour, a World Problem, pages 5, 6, and the rays and the initiations, page 349. Quote, illusion is the result of the thought form-making capacity of the mind, and it is that which has to be dissipated by the light of the soul. Illusion is the product of the higher mind, glamour of the astral nature, and Maya of the physical. Illusion is the seed of wrong mental attitudes, of false interpretations, and of erroneous conclusions. Let us contemplate these in relation to the group glamour of intolerance and the group glamour of national pride and group self-satisfaction and any illusion created in all its forms. We know that an ashram is a place of quietly confident, regulated effort. The plan and the immediate service activity are known, and disciples and initiates, each aware of his task and equipment, proceed to carry out the phase of the one work which is theirs. Each senses its relationship to the phases of the work undertaken by his group brothers. It is in learning to see the picture whole, as the master ever sees it, that confidence and security are developed. From Glamour, a World Problem, pages 134 and 35. Illumination, the goal of the technique of light, and the light of knowledge can be regarded as synonymous terms, and many glamours can be dissipated and dispersed when subjected to the potency of the informative mind. For the mind is essentially the subduer of emotion through the presentation of fact. The problem is to induce the individual or the race or nation which is acting under the influence of glamour to call in the mental power of assessing the situation and subject it to a calm, cold scrutiny. Glamour and emotion play into each other's hands. and feeling runs so strong, usually in relation to glamour, that it is impossible to bring in the light of knowledge with ease and effectiveness. In the section with which we are now concerned, we shall consider the practical ways in which illusion, glamour, and the power of Maya can be brought to an end in the life of the individual and eventually in the life of nations and finally in the world. Always, we must begin with the unity of life, the microcosm. Then, having grasped process and progress in connection with the individual, the idea can then be extended to the group, the organization, the nation, and to humanity as a whole. Thus, gradually, we shall approach the great idea to which we give the name of God, the macrocosm. Revelation and the stages of initiation. Each initiation lifts one or more veils that obscure reality and thus allows the initiate to see, know, and serve at higher levels. Let us take 4 levels. The first, initiation, birth, the technique of indifference. The veil lifted and the goal is inspiration. Partial veil of Maya, goal, inspiration, the applied power of transmission. And the revelation given is the recognition of the soul as the true identity. The second level, baptism, the technique of light, glamour. The goal, illumination, the applied power of transformation. The revelation given, the understanding of the path of purification and service. The third level, transfiguration, the technique of the presence, illusion. The goal, intuition, the applied power of transfiguration. And the revelation given, the revelation of the spiritual triad, the true self. And the fourth level, renunciation. Here, Maya is fully lifted. And the revelation given, the realization of monadic life, spirit as ultimate reality. The techniques might be summarized as follows. The technique of indifference. By means of this technique, Maya is ended. For the control of the purified astral vehicle is consciously and technically brought into activity, producing the freeing of the energies of the etheric body from the control of matter or force substance, and bringing men in large numbers onto the probationary path. Where there is divine indifference to the call or pull of matter, then inspiration becomes possible. This technique is related to karma yoga in its most practical form and the use of matter with complete impersonality. The goal of this technique is the first initiation, which enables man to live a life inspired by God. Inspiration is the applied power of transmission. A technique of light. By means of this technique, the illumined mind assumes control over the astral or emotional body and dissipates glamour. When light pours in, glamour fades out. Illumination dominates, and the vision of reality can be seen. This technique is related to Raja Yoga, and its goal is the second initiation. It produces ability to tread the path of discipleship and enables the man to live a life enlightened by divinity. Illumination is the applied power of transformation. The technique of the presence. And today, at the close of the technique of light today, we will consider this technique of the presence as the next phase of our service. By means of this technique, the soul assumes control of the integrated personality and of its relations, horizontal and vertical. This technique involves the unfolding of the flower of the intuition, dispelling illusion, revealing the angel, indicating the presence, and opening up to the disciple the world of ideas and the door of the higher initiations. Through the disciple's grasp and application of these divine ideas or seed thoughts, he becomes an initiate, and the third initiation becomes possible as an immediate goal. The intuition is the applied power of transfiguration. This technique is related to the little-known yoga called Agni Yoga, or the yoga fire. The issues at stake are clear to all right-thinking people. Quote, intolerance and an intense national pride and self-satisfaction can blind men to the facts of the case today. But there are enough people thinking clearly to make the future of right decision more probable than at any previous time in the history of the race, unquote. Externalization of the hierarchy, pages 136, 137. Let us endeavor to understand our part in the group glamour of intolerance and the group glamour of national pride and group self-satisfaction. Let us now align as soul and as a group, see our group approaching Master DK's study. Our aim is to embody spiritual discernment, practice positive harmlessness, and eventually achieve a state of divine indifference as we dispel illusion, dissipate glamours, devitalize Maya in all our relationships. We enter into a beam of directed, focused light, revealing a greater light and illumining the way to the center of the light. directing our way. Directing our way. We assume the attitude of the observer. Envision your etheric body, your aura, which includes your health aura. Envision your astral emotional aura. And finally, your mental aura, encapsulating your expressed etheric radiance and your place upon the path of evolution, your personality instrument. See the outline of these spheres, these auras, in a unity. Now, imagine the interconnections, the elemental and devic streams flowing, relating, connecting these auras as a single unified field, and sound the words of Roberto Assagioli. I have a body. I am not my body. I have emotions. I am not my emotions. I have a mind. I am not my mind. Now lift the attention within these united spheres to the highest point, the deepest point of life within your being, the soul, and say, I am the soul. I am light divine. I am love. I am will. I am fixed design. I am one with my group brothers and sisters, and all that I have is theirs. May the love of the one soul pour forth to all. May the energy of one soul lift and aid all. May the thoughts which which the soul creates reach and encourage all. May the energy of the divine self be spread abroad in our hearts, through our groups, and throughout the world. As the greater group that has formed and is forming, becoming this channel for the dissipation of glamour and dispelling of illusion, we use the sign of the cross of divinity and sound the protective formula. As the soul, we work in light, and darkness cannot touch us. We take our stand within the light. We work, and from that point, we never move. Now, merging with the group present, those joining subjectively and via our connectivities and your current service groups in the heart, mind, heart in the head. We sound the mantra of light. Radiance we are and power. We stand forever with our hands stretched out, linking the heavens and the earth, the inner world of meaning and the subtle world of glamour. We reach into the light and bring it down to meet the need. We reach into the silent place and bring from thence the gift of understanding. Thus, with the light we work and turn the darkness into day. We completed the act of naming. Prior to beginning the technique of light, for the dissipation of group glamours and any illusion related and created. These are glamours that impact aspirants and yet are not minor glamours. We now briefly consider the whirlpool of glamours related to the group glamour of intolerance and the group glamour of national pride and group self-satisfaction, and the hindrances that these glamours manifest in our lives and group work. Briefly now, seeing our part in it, naming our part in it, owning our part in it. From the Reappearance of the Christ, pages 133. The combined work of the two great sons of God, concentrated through the world disciples and through their initiates, must and will inevitably shatter illusion and dispel glamour. The one by the intuitive recognition of reality by minds attuned to it, and the other by the pouring in of the light of the reason. The Buddha made the first planetary effort to dissipate world glamour. The Christ made the first planetary effort towards the dispelling of illusion. Their work must now be intelligently carried forward by a humanity wise enough to recognize its duty. Found our recognitions. We recognize our pledged discipleship. We recognize the equipment we have been given, gratefully rendered. We recognize our achieved alignment. We recognize the soul, the source of love wisdom. We recognize the hierarchy. We align with the plan and with the Christ mandating the dissipation of glamour through his return in the first 1,000 years of the Aquarian age. In the work of all initiates and disciples to dissipate the fogs and illusions we have ourselves created, we recognize our part in it. We recognize our duty. We stand. Having had a period of focused, silent preparation considering the glamour and how it affects our group life in relation to illusion, we continue. With some assurance now that we are able to lift our consciousness out of the lower focus on desire and self-will, personality will. Let us align as a group in the spiritual will of the group soul. We use the creative imagination controlled by the mind, transmitting an image onto the astral field, facing the group members as if eye to eye and establishing a soul to soul connection. In silence, we withdraw from personal and world affairs and center on the work to be done, setting up a magnetic field of positive, receptive activity in silence. Om Mani Padme Hum. The act of protection. Each member again sounding in silence as the group projects this image from our minds onto the field. We sound in silence the protective formula using the sign of the cross of divinity, emphasizing the meaning of the symbol. Great symbol of light and of consciousness, signifying the vertical light and the horizontal light, the power of attraction and the power of radiation, soul, life, and service. A long-aimed vertical cross, the long-armed vertical cross touching the forehead. As a soul, we work in light, the center of the chest, and darkness cannot touch us, the left eye. We take our stand within the light. We work the right eye. And from that point, we never move. Maintaining a focused, immovable will as the point of tension. The identification of the brain, mind, and soul with the will aspect. And the preservation of that identification, unchanged and immovable in all circumstances and difficulties. Remembering that the will aspect is contacted only from the mental plane, and only those, therefore, who are working with and through the mind can begin to appropriate this energy. A statement to the group made by the soul, the disciple. In the center of the will of God we stand. Naught shall deflect our will from God's will. We implement that will by love. We turn towards the field of service. As the triangle divine, we work out that will within the square and serve humanity. We begin the act of focusing the lights, focusing the dual personality light of matter and of mind. We meditate on soul contact and the recognition of soul light. This process involves two stages. First, the blending and fusion of the two lesser lights and of soul light as an individual. And then, this is carried forward as a group, each member making their contribution and consciously attempting to visualize the process of blending the triple light, which each contributes into one sphere of light. Together, let us do these two processes, hearing the note of the soul, visualizing the light of the soul, the light of mind, and the light of matter, brain, merged and blended, recognizing, feeling the intent of the soul. From that high point of soul focus and using the triple light, one, we merge and blend first our individual lights and then see the individual lights merging and blending into one group center. And we see those joining us from the other side of the veil and the light of the senior disciples and initiates serving to dissipate glamour, bringing their light as this triple light becomes our group light. 2. Then as the group soul, the realized unity of the souls of all the group members, it becomes the great searchlight, growing, expanding, realized into a state of becoming the one great light, quiescent and not yet radiating out. Then we say in unison, the light is one, and in that light shall we see light. This is the light that turns the darkness into day. Sounding the Om as the group soul on its own plane, sounded forth by the group soul, the realized unity of the souls of all the group members. Sounding the Om as the soul on the mental plane. Sounding the Om as the soul on the astral plane, the soul ready to function as light bearer and distributor of light upon the astral plane. The Om, rightly sounded, releases the soul from the realm of glamour and of enchantment. It is the sound of liberation, the great note of resurrection, and the rising of humanity to the secret place of the Most High when all other words and sounds have failed. What results, therefore, when the word is correctly sounded by a group of people rightly intermingled? It attracts the attention of certain of the devas or angels whose work lies with the bodies of men and enables them to do that work with greater exactitude and make contacts that later will be of use. As we sound the mantra of light, we visualize the turning of the great searchlight which we have jointly created by our unified light onto the glamour to be dissipated, holding the light steady and realizing mentally the work of dissipation it is intended to do through this act of direction. Beings we are and power. We stand forever with our hands stretched out, linking the heavens and the earth, the inner world of meaning and the subtle world of glamour. We reach into the light and bring it down to meet the need. We reach into the silent place and bring from thence the gift of understanding. Thus, with the light we work and turn the darkness into day. We pause for a few minutes as we attempt to throw behind the searchlight our united, directed, and dynamic will or intent along the projected beam of light. The destructive quality of the spiritual will, destructive to all that hinders the manifestation of divinity. We have attained a united point of tension. We have dedicated both the individual will and the group will to the will of God. This act of will, carried on by each member of the group, silently, and with a deep realization that all of us are thus accepted, and that it is the group will which is being silently focused. We say together, with power upon its beam, the light is focused on the goal. In the act of projection, we utter the words of power, naming the group glamour of intolerance and the group glamour of national pride and group self-satisfaction. And any illusion created in all its forms as a hindrance to group service, thus bringing it consciously into relation with the focused light. We begin the task of dissipation. Power of our united light prevents the appearance of group glamour of intolerance and the group glamour of national pride and group self-satisfaction, and any illusion created in all its forms. The power of our united light negates the quality of group glamour of intolerance and the group glamour of national pride and group self-satisfaction, and any illusion created in all its forms from affecting humanity. The power of our united light destroys the life behind group glamour of intolerance and the group glamour of national pride and group self-satisfaction and any illusion created in all its forms. These words are our act of affirmation and gain strength from the experience of each of us and from our familiarity and regular use. And comes the act of penetration, an important aspect of the work in which we visualize the gradual dissipation and dispersal of the glamour by the penetration of the light into its darkness. We endeavor to see the glamour disintegrating and the reality emerging, doing this by an effort of the creative imagination. Each of us does this in our own way and according to our own understanding and capacity. Now, follows 5 minutes of silence and intensity of purpose while we wait for the work instituted to go forward. As a group, we withdraw our consciousness from the astral plane and the world of glamour. We refocus attention, first of all, on the mental plane, and then on the soul plane, relinquishing all thought of the glamour, knowing that the work has been successfully carried forward. We reorganize ourselves as a group in relation to the kingdom of souls and to each other. Occultly speaking, the searchlight of the soul is cut off. We sound the Om in group formation, and then, in order to emphasize the group work is ended, on behalf of the group, for the group sounds one Om. Om. So let it be, and help us in our group life to end all glamour and untruth. In turn, let each member in the alphabetical order unmutes our microphone following the original sound of the Om and makes the statement, so let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth.
So let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth.
Oh. So let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth.
So let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth. So let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth.
So let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth.
So let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth.
So let it be, and help me in my own life to end all glamour and untruth.
Let us sound the mantra of the new group of world servers. May the power of the one life pour through the group of all true servers. May the love of the one soul characterize the lives of all who seek to aid the great ones. May we fulfill our part in the one work through self-forgetfulness, harmlessness, and right speech.